Hi, good afternoon. I'm going to present you the Uncertainty Analysis I project. First of all, in this project, different concerns expressed among the Mexican population will be analyzed, such as poverty, employment, and security, and corruption. All these applying statistics and graphs obtained based on the INEGI survey collected in 2022. The objective of this project is to analyze the data perception of the security in Mexico through the organization, presentation, interpretation, and presentation of the results with the purpose of knowing in a more precise way what is the opinion of the population of security. These are three factors principal to consider, like sex, stratum, and age. First, the sex. In the sex, we can say that we took a survey of 1,500 people surveyed. It can also observe that 56% belong to the female gender, while the other 44% of the respondents are male. This leaves a percentage very close to the 50-50 of both genders. In blue is represented the men, and in pink, the woman. Next, the social stratum. Of the 1,500 respondents, about 49.8 belong to the lower middle stratum, 24.6 to the upper middle stratum, 70.3 to the lower stratum, and the rest and remaining numbers are 8.3 belong to the higher stratum. This can show that in the red one is the middle low, the yellow one is the middle high, blue one is the lower, and green is the higher. Next, the age. In the age, we can take very different variables like the mean, the median, the mode. Like in this survey, we can see that the average of age is about 45 years old approximately. We can see that the 50% of the respondents are 42 years old or older. The age with the highest survey occurrences were 27 and 30 years old. Of the number total of the respondents, less than 25% are older than 30 years old, and 25 are over 57 years old. Their age graph has a skew to the right. It means that the mean is higher to the value of the median, and the median will be higher to the mode. This graph has this mode problematic graph, which says that the values are far from the mean. And so the large variation, this because it's a lot of age in a lot of range of different ages considered. Next, the box plot. In this box plot, we have 8 outliers, which are not considered in the sample because they are not in the age range that it's considered to make this. And you'll also observe that there is a little variability given the small amplitude of the box. It will also conclude that it has a bias to the right due to the upper line that it's observed. Then, in the heap, it's possible to show how it grows progressively with the accumulation percentage of people surveyed by age. Next of all, we're going to talk about the concerns in the Mexican population, that it's poverty, insecurity, corruption, and unemployment. First of all, the poverty concerns. Of the respondents, about 24.5% of the respondents consider poverty to be concerned, while the remaining 75.5% do not consider it to be concerned. This shows that it's not something important that worries the Mexican population very much. Then we can see the insecurity concerns. In this, we can observe, it can be observed that 60% of the respondents consider the insecurity to be concerned, while the other remaining 14% do not consider it to be a little problem. This shows that insecurity is a major concern that lives of the Mexican population. Then, the corruption concerns of the surveyed, like 77% consider corruption to be something different or unimportant in his lives, while the other 23% consider this issue to be concerned. This shows that the corruption is not an important issue for the majority of the Mexican population. Then, and finally, the unemployment concerns. Of those surveyed, the 68% consider unemployment to be something different or unimportant to them, while the remaining 30% consider this issue to be concerned. This shows that employment is not a problem that affects the Mexican life population. Then it's made a bivariate analysis that we consider the age and the corruption. Taking consideration that 50% of the people who not consider corruption important are 42 years old, while the other 50% who consider important are younger by 2 years, at 40 years old. The average of people concerns is 45 years old, and while the average of people who are concerned it is 43 years old. The most repeated age in the survey, which negative result, is 27%, and the most repeated age showing concern are 23 years old and 31. 25% of people under 30 years age do not consider this situation important, while 25% under 29 years age consider it important. Then 25% of the people over 58 years old do not consider this situation important, while the 25% over 55 years age consider it important. There has skew to right, like the main one in age, and this has a lot of variable because it's obviously an ample range of age. Then we have two box plots. The first one shows the people do not important the corruption, and the second one the people that import to. First, the box plot that not consider important corruption does not have outliers. It is also observed that there is more variability given that the box has an amplitude of 28 years. It also concludes that it has bias to the right to the upper line it observed. Then, the box plot that concerns corruption shows that there is one outlier that are not concerned in the sample because they are not outside of the range. It is also be observed that there are little variability given the small amplitude of the box, and it also has a bias to the right due to the upper line that it's observed. A bivariate histogram. In blue one, we can see the purple do not important the corruption. This shows a negative response regarding to concerns about corruption. This range faculty response like 29 years and 31 years old with respondents, and the range with the fewest people responding between 86 and 88 with 0 individuals responding here. It is also observed in the portion of the people who considers corruption important that the age range with the most favorable responses is between 29 and 30 years old, and also in 34 to 36 years old, with 26 responses in favor. Then the lower number is in the range of 86 to 88 years old. To conclude, once the information collected has been analyzed, the conclusion can be reached that the Mexican population does not show more concern about the issues of the corruption, poverty, and insecurity. This couldn't be due to the fact that the data taken to carry out the analysis belongs to people from the middle and high social stratum, while there is clear majority concern regarding the issue of security. It will be essential to make change as soon as possible regarding that issue. Clearly, there is no favorable response regarding these issues in the country, which is why it is necessary to make a change the earliest possible in this country. All this data has been taken by the INEGI and has been recuperated the 5th of October of 2023. Thanks.